Agenda for today's class is overview of Python. First, Python program, data types. We'll talk about how to create a function, local and global variable, for loop. We will talk about while loop, and we'll talk about if and else as well. So we'll be starting with the overview of Python language. Srikant, could you please mute yourself?
Oh yeah, sorry.
Yeah, thank you. Okay, so Python is like a high-level programming language. When we say high level, that means you don't have to. I mean, you can write the program more like a English, like more in a human-readable format. When we say low-level language, that means you have to write a program which is understandable by machine language, right? So when we say high level, that means anyone, even a non-developer, a non-technical guy, if he or she will look at the code, they can little bit understand, because it would be like there's some if condition, so anyone can understand that, okay, if this condition is true, then do that. If this is not true, then do that, something like this. So this is very easy to code. Anyone can learn to code in Python in just a few days. So nowadays, I mean, if I talk about few years back, C, C++, Java, those languages were in trend, and most of the applications were developed in those languages. But now, from last few years, and uh, mainly when the cloud came into the picture, Python is more common language now. Whether you are dealing with data, or you are doing image processing, or you are doing data analytics, or machine learning, or anything, Python, starting from very basics and going towards very advanced and very high, you can say very complex algorithm and machine learning stuff, everything can be achieved with the help of Python. Easy to read. Python code looks like simple English words. There is no use of semicolon or brackets. That's also one of the good point, because in C, C++, or Java, for a particular block, suppose you are writing a for loop, or you are writing a function, or you are writing a while loop, you have to provide a opening and closing bracket to explicitly specify that this is one block, this is my for loop. But Python does not have any concept of opening and closing brackets, and even the semicolon is not required. So just by looking at a simple file, text file, I would say, you can understand that, okay, what exactly the developer or whoever has written the code, what exactly they want to achieve. It's free of cost available, not only for personal use, because there are many open source software which are available for personal use free of cost. But if you are using them in the enterprise and some with some extra features, right, they will be charging for that. But if I talk about Python, it's completely free of cost available. You use it for your personal use, for your learning use, for your office project, you are doing machine learning, or any complex algorithm you are doing, that is completely free of cost available. And this is portable. That means you can write the code on one type of operating system. Suppose you are doing your development on Windows, you have a personal laptop, that is your Windows system, you can do the development over there. But later on, you want to run that code on the cloud, or on a different operating system like Mac. Cloud is mostly like it's Linux based OS only. Suppose I want to execute my code on EC2 instance, that is Linux based OS, right? So you can write the code on any operating system, and you can execute that on another operating system without any issue. Libraries. There are many inbuilt libraries available for a specific use. Suppose you want to do like data analytics. So you will find some pandas library. Those are very helpful. You can deal with the data just like you are dealing with a structured table. That library will help you. Similarly, if you want to do some other stuff like statistics, or you want to do like image processing, or you want to connect with database, for every thing, every type of use case, there are libraries available. That means you don't have to write your own code. You simply import those libraries into your Python program, and then you can simply use those functionality. So less or more, it's very easy to start with Python, and as and when you come across any specific requirement, you can use the available libraries, and you can achieve the required output. So these are basic, like a few details about Python. In case you are having any doubt or you want to add something to this, you can ask me. Otherwise, we'll be starting the practice now. Okay, that's good. So I will be opening my AWS console, because we will be doing the things practically now instead of showing theoretically. Just give me a moment. Where is that? Okay. So this is my Cloud9. Okay, and you can create a folder if you want, just like I have done. Right, I have created one folder, Python code, and I have created a few examples there for your easy reference. I can share all these programs via Google Drive, so that you guys can open these files and you can practice that. But as of now, we will be starting with one file, hello world. Okay, and let me remove everything from here. We'll start from very beginning. Okay, so first of all, Python file should have one extension .py. That's the very first important thing. Second thing is, as we said, that it's very easy to write Python code. Usually when you are writing a program in C++ or Java, you have to write some first method like public, static, void, main, something like that. That's a standard definition of any simple Java program or C++ program. On the other side, Python, you don't need to import anything, don't need to define any method. You can directly start writing your first line. That I'm doing print command. So you can see that this program has only one single line. Welcome to Python programming, and I want to print that message. It's very simple. And we will do Ctrl S. We will save this file. You can give any name. Make sure that your file name is ending with .py. So we'll start with very small program, and then we will keep on adding new and new features, variables, constants, and like functions and other stuff we will keep on doing. Okay, so what I will do is, I will just give me a moment. I just set up something so that we can show the program's output on the right side. Okay, so I just there are two windows. I just made them like vertically aligned, like this one. You can do them horizontally also, and multiple things are there. So I like this one. On the left side, I will write my program. On the right side, I will see my output. Okay, so first of all, we need to go to the directory where exactly your this hello world.py is available. So let me check where exactly I am in. I'm into /home ec2 environment. Okay, till here. And after that, I need to go to Python code, and inside that there is hello world.py. Okay, so I will go to Python code. That's good. Okay, you can see that I'm doing the listing and all the examples are available here. So I did this over the weekend. I will provide all these programs to you. Okay, so we will run our hello world.py, the first program we will run. So the command is Python. So since this Cloud9 is a development environment provided by AWS itself, and as we discussed in the very first week of our training program, that Cloud9 comes with most common programming language pre-installed. That means you don't need to install Python on Cloud9. But on the other side, in case you are trying to do all this practice on your local system, maybe on Mac or maybe on Windows, that means you need to install Python first. So that should not be a big deal. You simply go to Google and download Python for like Linux based OS or Mac or Windows, and hardly like it's a 5 minutes activity. Within 5 minutes, you can install Python on your system. So for easy practice, we can do the practice on our Cloud9, because any other previous activities also, whether it was like cloning a repository, pushing some code, or many more things, we did on Cloud9 only. So Cloud9 has my entire practice stuff available. So let me execute this program Python, and then my program name is hello world.py, and enter. And you can see now it is working perfectly fine. Welcome to Python programming. Okay, so before we move ahead, is there any doubt? Because different people may have different programming background, or someone wants to start from very basics, or someone may be aware about basic concept of Python, right? So just share your views, or if you have any doubt, you can ask me. Any doubt, Sahil? Okay, let's move to the next one. So now what we will do is we will declare some variable. In other programming language like C, C++, or Java, we need to define the type of the variable, whether it is an integer, or it is a string, or it is in double, or it is a boolean. But here Python is very smart. You don't have to provide the type of the variable. That's not required. You simply provide a variable name and provide some value. Based upon the value, it will automatically understand like what should be the data type. For example, I will say name is equal to, I will provide my name Neeraj, right? So since it's a string, right? So it will take the data type automatically. There can be some other value. Maybe I would say age is equal to 32. This is integer. So it will take the data type accordingly. You can define the variable like this. And if you want to print them, it's very easy. You simply type print and then the variable name, right? So I will print that. Control S. And let's execute this. Python hello world. And you can see now it is displaying my name. Now can we display this age just like this way? Let's try that. Print and I will type age. Okay, and because we will not understand what exactly is the value or something, what you can do is you can put some hard coded stuff here. I will tell you. You can say like name is equal to, okay, and then this one. So what I did is I provided a hard coded string, this one, whatever is in the single quotes, name is equal to, that's hard coded, plus whatever is the value of name. So it should display name is equal to Neeraj. Similarly, here we can do age is equal to, and then we will do plus and this one. Okay, let's try to execute now. You can see that it is failing, although it's displaying few things. Welcome to Python programming and name is equal to Neeraj. You can see that at least two things are coming, but for the third one, print age is equal to age, it's failing. And what is the error? Type error, data type error. Can only concatenate string, not int to string. Basically what you are trying to do here is, this one is string, right? String means text, and this one is integer. Python does not allow you to concatenate string and some other data type. You cannot do that. It can concatenate only string with string. So what's the simplest solution for that? Whenever you get such type of error, you simply convert your non-string value into string. There's a function str, and then put your variable or whatever it is in the bracket like this. What it will do is it will convert your age into string, and then this string and this string can be concatenated easily. Okay, so I will save this program and I will run the program again, and you can see now, welcome to Python programming and name is equal to Neeraj and age is equal to 32. One more thing you noticed is that even my line number 9 was having some issue, some error. Still my program ran like it was displaying this line, welcome to Python programming, name is equal to Neeraj. This will not happen in other programming languages like Java or C++. I will tell you why. There's a concept of compiling and interpreting. C, C++, Java, these programs are compiled first. That means those programs cannot be executed directly. Those programs are converted into a binary format. That means compiling. At the time of converting into binary format, if there is any issue, just like this one, like cannot convert, cannot concatenate string with integer, that type of error will appear at the compile time itself. You don't have to actually wait for the execution time. It will fail at compile time. But Python, on the other side, is not a compiler. It does not use compiler. It uses interpreter. Interpreter means it will interpret your program line by line. That means if first line is correct, it will execute that, irrespective of that any upcoming line may have some issue. That's why it started with this line, and this line was absolutely fine. It executed that. Then it declared to variable, there was no syntax error, so it executed that as well. Then printing the name, there was no error, it printed that also. Only in the line 9 it faced some challenge, and then it displayed that error. So Python executes your program line by line, and only after execution you will come to know like what exactly is the problem. So you can say that it's a positive thing as well as negative, because positive in the sense like just because of one line is not working, other lines will work and other line will display their output as well. The drawback is like only at the runtime, only after execution you will come to know about that issue. Before that you will never know what exactly is the problem with the Python code. Okay, so with this we are done with like variables as well. So I am stopping here for 2 minutes. In case you are having any doubt, you can ask me. Any doubt from your side? Yes, one.
Oh, I'm good, Nilesh.
Okay, that's good.
Neeraj?
Yes, Fortune.
Yeah, so is the entire class going to be just basics? Because I'm clear on Python basics, and I'll maybe watch other videos that I missed
Yeah, you can do
rather than.
that because today's class is definitely on basics. Tomorrow we'll talk about little bit advanced, and after
Okay.
that we'll talk about PySpark. So if you want, you can skip today's class.
All right, thank you.
Yeah. Okay. What about others? You want to continue?
I want to
Because I
continue.
got this request in the beginning of the training program that we have to start from very basic. Srikant, Yaswant.
Yeah, please continue, Neeraj.
Yeah, I want to continue as well.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so let's move to the next thing. Next thing, what is that? Let me check. Next is functions. Okay, we'll talk about it. So what exactly is function and why do we need that? So function is something like if you want to do something repeatedly, then better to use function. For example, you want to convert some number or you want to do some calculation on top of something. So instead of doing that calculation every time, you can define a function. We'll do that. Okay, so let me delete all these things and we'll define a function. So I will delete this. So whenever you define a function, first you have to type def, def. That means defining a function, and function name. That can be anything, completely up to you. So I will give a name display message. Okay, and then opening and closing bracket, and then colon. This is the like standard way to define it. What is this line? I don't know. Okay, forget, I mean just ignore that, it's nothing. So you can write anything inside that function. You want to declare method, you want to print something. So what I will do is I will let me print something. I will print. Okay, so I will say welcome to AWS training. Okay, and then I will write another statement, print hello from Python, and then I will write another statement, print. I'm doing print as of now, but I'm just telling you what's the concept. I would say happy learning. Okay. So I have just defined a function. Defining a function does not mean that it will execute it. It will not execute. I can show you. I will go here and I will execute my program Python hello world, and done. You see that? It is simply saying welcome to Python programming. Only one line is printed, this one. These lines are not printed. Why? Because we just defined the function. We did not call that function. We did not execute that function. This function will be executed only when you are calling it. And how to call? Same thing, but without def, like this, and opening and closing bracket. This means I am calling this function. And now, if I will run this program again on the right side, you can see now. Welcome to Python programming. Welcome to AWS training. Hello from Python. Happy learning. All these things are displayed. You may be thinking, what's the benefit of defining a function? Because I can directly write these three lines, right? I can. But suppose I need to do this thing multiple times, 10 times. That means I need to write these three lines 10 times. That's not a good idea. First of all, it would increase the number of lines. Another challenge is, suppose tomorrow I have to make some change, a minor change. That means I have to make that change at 10 places, which is very time consuming as well as error prone. It may be possible that you will update at 8 places and you will forget at 2 places. That's possible, right? Let me show you. I will call this function 3 times, or maybe like this. Okay. If I will run this program, you see now these 3 lines. Well, just give me a moment. So welcome to AWS training, hello from Python, and happy learning. These 3 lines are coming 4 times, right? Very easy. I did not have to write these 3 lines multiple times. No, I am simply calling my method multiple times. That's one benefit. And another benefit, as I said, if you want to update anything, suppose you want to write like welcome to AWS cloud training. I want to add one word cloud. So I will just add in my function definition. I don't have to change here, not required. Now if I will run the program, it will display cloud also. See now, displaying clouds, cloud, like this. This way we create a function and accordingly we can execute it from multiple places. That's the benefit of defining a function. Another benefit is, let's talk about the next level. Another benefit is you can parameterize the function. This time I did not parameterize it. That means I'm not giving any input. I'm simply calling this, and whatever is happening inside the function, that is printed. But I want to parameterize it. Let me make it like another method, def. Okay, or let me play with this one only. Okay, I will give a parameter name. Okay, and now I will do print, and here I will say hard coded hello. Okay, and after that I will provide the name. Which name? Whatever you will pass. That means you can use the same function display message for multiple persons. Let's try now. So this is just defining the function. Again, like it will not execute. I will call this function. So what I will do is function name display message, and I will pass some name, Neeraj. Okay, and let me call this function again with different name. Here I will give like Srikant, right? Okay, so now the function is same. As you know, this is same function display message, but input is different and it will behave accordingly. Let's try to execute it. So we'll execute our program, and you can see now. Hello Neeraj, hello Sika. If you log in into your net banking, right? Somewhere it will display your name. Welcome, Mr. Your name, right? Do you think that they have like hard coded everyone's name? Not possible, right? Millions of users are there. That means they have some generic function to display the name. Only the input to that function will change. So they may be reading your name from a database, and then the name is passed to a function. That function is displaying your particular name on the website. Similarly, there is some other section in your net banking which is displaying your current balance, displaying some other details, loans, this one, that one, right? So for every individual user, the value will be different. But from a coding point of view, someone has written a function which takes some arguments, single argument or even multiple arguments you can pass. Here I am just using only single name. If you want to pass multiple, you can type like name and age. You can do like this. In that case, it's up to you whether you want to use that two parameters or not. You see here, it's giving error. You see that no value for argument age in the function call, because this function display message is expecting two things, name and age, but you are passing only one. It's failing now. You cannot execute this. So let's pass some age also. So you can pass here 32. You can pass here 24 like this, and we will execute now. But it will still display these names only. You know why? You see that? Hello Neeraj, hello Srikant. Because you are passing two arguments, that's fine, but you are printing only one. So it will not give any error. It's okay. You can pass multiple arguments. Inside that, you want to use all arguments or one argument, it's completely up to you. But if you want to display age as well, you can do that. Otherwise, it's absolutely fine. Okay. Now, one more thing, let's try. Suppose age you want to keep like, I would say, some default value. You are expecting that people may not provide the age. So in that case, you can do age is equal to and provide some default value. I would say not available. Okay, age is equal to not available. What does that mean? It means that if user will provide the age, then we are good. But if user is not providing the age, it will consider age as not available and it should not fail. So let me remove the age and you will come to know. I will remove this age from here, and this time you see that it's not giving any error. It is not complaining that this function is expecting two arguments and you are providing only one argument. It's not complaining, because the second argument is optional. That means it's up to you. You want to provide, you can do. If not providing, then it will take some default values. Let's print here so that we can verify what exactly is happening. So I will say hello this one, and here I will type is, and here I will type is, and you know it may fail, so I will put string because it's integer value. So I will do like this. Okay, so now it should not fail. Why it's giving? Okay, error is disappeared now. So I'm calling display message, I'm giving the name, I'm giving the age also. And another example, I'm just giving the name, I'm not providing the age. Let's try to execute. So I will run this program and you can see now. Hello Neeraj, age 32, because I provided both the arguments. Another one is hello Srikant, age not available, because we did not provide. But my program is not failing. My program does not have any error. It's working perfectly fine. So whenever you define a function, you need to understand, do you need any arguments, or it is like function without arguments, or you can provide single argument, multiple arguments. You can define some default values so that if user are not providing, then it's absolutely fine. Okay, so I'm stopping here for 2 minutes. You are having any doubt, you can ask me.
No, Neeraj, it's very clear. Please continue.
Okay, that's good. Let's move to the next one. What is next? Next one I think should be local and global variable. Okay, that's good. We'll do that. So right now I'm showing everything in a single file for just like easy reference. But later on I will provide all these programs to you. You can go through it and you can practice on your cloud time. Okay. So the next is local and global variable. Okay. So suppose I am defining some variable here. Name is equal to Sahil. Okay. And let's define age also. Age is equal to 28. Okay. Now inside the function I can define these variables again. These are global variable, that whatever you are declaring at the main level. Okay, Python is completely driven by the indentation. You see this, after giving a function name, these two lines are like indentation with one tab. That means these two lines are under this function. Similarly, if we will write for loop if condition, I will show you that indentation will play one important role. Whatever is there without indentation, that means starting from very beginning, that is your main like flow. So you see that the first print statement, welcome to Python programming, name is, all these are at very beginning. So these are my global variable. Now here also inside this, I can define these variables. So let me remove the parameters first, because otherwise this will be creating problem. We'll delete this. And here I will define these variables again. Okay, Control C. And here I will define. So name I will change. I will make it Neeraj. Age I will change it 32. Okay. Now you may be thinking that same variables are defined two times, but the scope of these variables is just limited to this function. The scope is not outside available. That means if I am printing these two things here, it will display Neeraj and age 32. But if I print the same thing outside, it will display this one, Sahil and 28. Let's try that. So I will call this function so that you can see what's happening inside it. Okay, let's do one thing. I will copy these two lines, Control C, and I will print here. So what do you expect? What should it print? And after that, I will call my function display message. And after that, I will again call these two lines. Let's see what it will display. Okay. Now try to understand the things. These two lines are under this function because the indentation you can check. These two lines are part of your main program. You are calling your display message, and these two lines are again part of your main program, right? So when these two lines will work, because function definition will not do anything, first of all. So don't think that this will print. No, this will not do anything. Printing will happen from here. Welcome to Python programming. Then it will print this one, name and age, and it should take from the global, that is Sahil and 28. Then we'll call display message, which is this one, and there are the same variable name defined inside the function. So this time it will display Neeraj and 32. And again, I'm again calling this print statement. It will again display Sahil and 28. So these defined the variable inside the function. These are known as local variables, and outside these are known as global variables. Let's try this. You can see now. Welcome to Python programming. Initially, hello Sahil and age 28, and then hello Neeraj age 32, and again back hello Sahil age 28. This is local and global variable. If you will define something additional, suppose I will specify here like company. Okay, I would pass some name like TCS. Okay, where I passed company TCS, right? If you try to print this outside, it will fail. I will show you. So I will print here inside. Inside is fine because it's available, right? So I will provide here, right? If I will do the same outside of function, it will fail. You can see that even before execution it's failing. It is saying undefined variable company. It does not understand what is company variable because you defined inside this function. So the scope of this variable is limited to this function only. It is not accessible outside. You cannot do that. But if you are defining something outside, that can be used inside also. Okay, I will delete these two names from here, two variables from here. I am deleting them. Okay, I am defining only company is equal to TCS, and I will delete these lines also to make it simple. Okay, now two variables defined outside which has global scope. That means your function can access those as well. And there is a local variable company which is accessible within this function. If I will run this, it will display all three. Let's try. You can see that. Hello Sahil, age 28 and company TCS. Two variables accessed from global scope and one variable accessed from inside the function. So these are available inside function, but this company variable is not available outside of the function. That is the concept of local and global variable. So I hope that's clear to you. Okay.
Yes, Neeraj. Yeah.
That's good. So let's move to the next one. Next one is, I think we have for loop. Yeah, for loop is there. So we'll talk about this for loop. Okay. For loop is used to do something repeatedly. Suppose I want to print something 100 times. Do I need to write print statement 100 times? No, that's not a good idea. I will not do that. I will write some for loop. That means I'm asking that could you please do this particular thing so many times. Let's try that. So let me delete all these things. I will, or let's try with this one itself. So I will write a for loop. For, you can take some variable name, maybe anything. I can take I in range. You can provide some range 1, 5 and colon and enter. Now whatever you will write here or whatever you do here, that will repeat like 1 to 5. It starts with 1, but 5 is not included. That's like pattern of Python. So basically it will go 4 times. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's try that. So I will do print. Let's display I. Okay, I will display I. If you want to display something else, let's do one more thing. Let's display I star 2. Star means multiply. So I is an integer, right? So let's keep it simple because otherwise it will be complex to understand. Let's keep it I only. We'll display I, and at the same time I will call this function display message. It does not need anything, right? So I will do this one, display message, right? This. What I'm doing is I want to print the value of I and I want to display this message five times. I mean 1 to 5 means it will go 4 times. So let's run this. You see this. Welcome to Python programming. Hello Sahil, age 28, company TCS, and then we are calling here also. Oh, that's why. Let me delete this. I thought why I was expecting that the I should come first and then only it should call the function. But line number 13 I need to delete. Just give me a moment. Control D to keep it simple. Okay, we'll run it again. You see now, welcome to Python programming. It will display the value of I. Initially the value of I is 1 and it will call the function hello Sahil, age 28, company TCS. Next time the value of I is 2 and the function again calling hello Sahil, age 28, company TCS. Then 3, then 4, like this. If you want to pass this value I to the function, you can do that as well. But accordingly, you need to change the function definition. But anyway, you understood like how to use a for loop and how to do something multiple times. Okay. So any doubt in the for loop?
So Neeraj, if we want to print the same thing with the global variables, we need to print it outside the function, right? Outside the defined function.
No, it's available inside also. You can see that I am displaying hello and age inside the function, and it's taking the value from here.
Oh, yeah. Sorry. Yeah.
Can you repeat your question? I think I could not understand your question completely.
No, I'm a little bit confused with this because I thought it's only displaying what's inside the defined function.
That's what it is doing. Okay, variable it can access from outside also. If you're talking about variable, you can see that name and age I have not defined inside the function. These are defined outside global, but function can access them. I'm doing hello and name, it's accessing this value Sahil, and age also it's accessing. If you will define these variables again in the function, they will override. If you're not defining them again, it will take from outside.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Okay, so that's all for today. Tomorrow we'll be talking about few more advanced topics of Python. So the agenda for today's class is break and continue in for loop. So that's a typo. It's like for loop. What is a while loop? We'll talk about it. If else conditions, logical operators. We'll talk about array. We'll talk about two-dimensional array, string functions, and dictionary. All these things we'll be talking about theoretically as well as practically. For your easy convenience, I have taken screenshot for all the possible uh, scenarios, but as along with the screenshot, I will provide the actual program as well, so that you can play around it and you can modify this and you can see different type of execution behavior. Okay, so let's talk about break and continue, and I will open my AWS console. We'll do it practically. So I will open my AWS console. On the left side, you can see that I already have few programs written: break and continue, dictionary, for loop, functions, if else, and all this thing, right? I will not be opening those programs. Those programs I can share with you through Google Drive. I will open only Hello World, and we will keep on doing everything in this program only, one by one. So I'm talking about for loop, right? So when you are doing something multiple times, sometimes there is scenario that you want to skip something. For
Sorry,
example,
Neeraj, can you please zoom it a bit?
yeah, that makes sense because font size is very small. Oh, why it's only zooming this window? I want to zoom the entire page. Hey, only this window is zooming. Just give me a moment. Let me try. Even function key is not working. I want to do F11 so that it can show the bigger window, but even that's not working. Okay, I hope you can see now, right? It's better than earlier.
Yes. Thank you.
Okay, that's good. Okay, so I was talking about for loop. For example, you have to check every content of a directory. That directory may contains few files and few subdirectory as well, right? You want to perform some operation on the files only. Whenever you encounter a directory, you just want to skip it. So skipping means you want to continue. That means continue the for loop and don't do anything for this one. So let's try with a for loop and then I will explain. So we will take one for loop, and what I will do is I will do for I in range, I will give 1 comma 10. Okay, and what I want is I want to print I. That's all. That's my purpose. So what it should display is it should display 1 till 9 because this last number is not inclusive actually. So 1 till 9 it will display. Let's try that. So I will go to my Python code directory and I will run this Python and hello world, right? Yes, you see that 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9. It's working fine. Now let's come to the concept of continue. What I want is if I will put if condition, if I is equal to 4. Okay, when you are comparing, you put double equal to. When you are assigning the value, we put single equal to. So here I am doing the comparison. I am checking whether the value of I is equal to 4 or not. If I is equal to 4, then I want to continue. Continue means whatever else after continue, whatever else is there here, whatever lines you have written, those will be skipped. It will not execute that. It will from here itself, it will go again in the for loop for the next execution. So it will skip basically. So in this case, what I'm expecting is it should display 1, 2, 3. When the 4 will come, it will continue. It will not print. When the 5 will come, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, it should print. So let's see. We'll execute again. And you can see now 1, 2, 3 is printed. When the 4 came, it continued. It did not do anything. And after that, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And a real example I have given is that you want to access all the content of a directory, but you want to access only files. Whenever you encounter a subdirectory, you want to skip it. You want to continue that. You can do that. Or we can do one more thing. Suppose I will say if I will put some condition like if I is equal to let me do one thing. I percentage 2 is equal to 0. I will tell you what's the meaning of that one. You see that I percentage 2 means you divide the I by 2 and whatever is the remainder, if that is equal to 0, then continue. If not, then you can do this, then you can proceed further. So the very first value of I is 1. 1 divided by 2 and remainder is 1, which is not equal to 0. That means it will go to the 7th line and it will print. That's why 1 is printed. When the 2 will come, 2 divided by 2, the remainder is 0 and this condition is true. In that case, it will continue. That means it will not go further. So you can see here 2, 4, 6 and 8. Those are skipped. And 1, 3, 5, 7, 9 is not skipped. That is printed. That's the benefit of continue. Now there is one more concept, break. Suppose you are searching for something. You are searching for a specific file in a directory and there can be 100 directories in that. Sorry, 100 files in the directory. As and when you will find that file, after that you don't need to search further, right? Suppose you find the third file is the file which you are looking for. After that, there is no point of continue the for loop till 100. That's not required. So in that case, we use break. I will show you that. So I will put break condition here. Instead of continue, I will make it break and I will put some other condition. I will say I is equal to 5. Okay. That means I'm looking for something. As soon as I will find that, after that, I don't want to continue my for loop. So it should, 1 will come, it will see that 1 is not equal to 5, it will not break, it will print 1. Then it will print 2, it will print 3, it will print 4, it will, once the 5 will come, right, it will break. And after that 6, 7, 8, 9, that will never happen because for loop is finished now. Let's try that. So I will do Python, my program name, and you see that it is displaying only 1, 2, 3, 4. After that, for loop is finished because whatever I was looking for, I have found that and I don't need to continue. So I will give you the example, real example, so that you can understand where exactly we should use continue, where should we use break, where exactly we should use for loop and all. So with this one, we are done with break and continue. In case you are having any question till now, you can ask me.
No, Neeraj, it's clear. Please continue.
Okay, that's good. Let's move to the next one, that is while loop. Okay, for loop we execute when we are aware that we have to do something this many times, like 10 times, 50 times. But sometimes we don't know how many times I need to repeat something. It depends upon a situation. For example, I am reading a file and a file has few lines and I am looking for a particular detail. If the line contains some detail like suppose like product ID, right? So till I'm not getting the product ID, I need to iterate it. But which line contains product ID, I really don't know. So I don't know whether I need to iterate it 5 times or 10 times or 50 times. So it is condition based. It's not a fixed number that I need to repeat something 10 times. For such condition, we use while loop. So I will show you how to do that. I will take some value. Suppose counter is equal to 1. Okay. I will put a while condition. While counter less than 10. Okay. And what I will do is I will do something. I will print I star 2. I want to do this. Okay. So while the counter value is less than 10, this will keep on going. As soon as counter value is not less than 10, then this while loop will break. Why it's giving error? Oh, not I, my mistake. Counter. Okay. But at the same time, you think that the first counter value is 1, the condition will fulfill, right? Condition is correct. It will print counter star 2. Then it will go again in the while loop. The value of counter is still 1. It's less than 10. It will again display. It will keep on going. That means it is an indefinite loop, which is not a good idea. It will keep on going millions, billions, trillions. So what I will do is after printing, I will change the value of counter. I am making counter is equal to counter plus 2. That means first time the value of counter will be 1. It will do 1 multiplied by 2. That means it will display 2. And then I am changing the value of counter from current value plus 2. That means 3. Now it will come back to the while loop. 3 is less than 10. Yes, that's true. So it will display counter multiplied by 2. That means 3 multiplied by 2. It will display 6. And then the value of counter will be, you can say, changed. It will be incremented by 2. But one scenario will come when the counter value will cross your value 10. That means this cannot enter the while loop. And then while loop will finish. Let's try this. So I will run this. Oh, I didn't save it. Okay, let me cancel it. My bad. How to cancel? Okay, cancel. Okay. So I told you, right? If I will not increase the value, then that means it's an indefinite loop. It will keep on going. So it was continuously displaying 2. So I did not save that. I forgot to save. So I will execute now again. And you see now. Initially, the value of I was 1. So it displayed 2. Then value of I is 3. It displayed 6. Then value of I was 5. It displayed what? 10. Then a value of counter is 7. So it displayed 14. The value of counter become 9, which is still, the condition is still true. It displayed 18. And after that, the value of counter became 11. And when it will come to the while loop, that condition is not true now, not longer true. 11 is not less than 10. That means now the while loop is complete. It will not go further inside your while, like this one. So one example I have already given to you, right? You are looking for something, and as and when you will find it, then you will come out. So you can achieve that with the help of for loop also, because you start the for loop for a big number, and when you find whatever you're looking for, you can break. That you can do. That's one way to do it. Another way is you can do the while loop. In that case, as and when this condition will be false, this will be finished. Okay, so this is while loop. In case you are having any doubts on the while loop, you can ask me. Any doubt, Srikant?
No, Neeraj.
Okay, that's good. Let's move to the next one, if and else. Although we already talked about if condition, I put some condition like if I is equal to 4, then continue or break something, right? But let's take a proper example of if else. So suppose I am taking a variable name is equal to Neeraj, okay? And I will put a condition if in the bracket you will put name is equal to 2 times because I'm comparing Neeraj, right? Put colon. I want to print. Suppose I will print something like yes. Okay. Else I will print no. Okay, so in this case, because the value of name is Neeraj, that means we are expecting that yes should be printed. Let's check it out. So we'll execute our program and you can see that it is displaying yes. If the value of name I will change, I will make it Kumar, right? This time your if condition is false, name not equal to Neeraj, right? Then it will go into the else section and it will display no. Let's check it out. You can see that. This way you can do if and else. Sometime for else side, we want to put one more condition. For example, if this one, okay, let's take one more variable, age is equal to 32. Okay. So what I'm doing is if name is equal to Neeraj, print yes. Else, not else, there's elif. Elif is like shortcut of else if. Elif, then put one other condition. I will say age is equal to 32. Okay. So if name not equal to Neeraj, I mean, if that condition is not true, it will go to else if. Then I'm checking another condition. If age is equal to 32, then I will display of course yes. And now I will put else, or you can, if you want, you can put one more if else. I mean elif. So I will put else now. This is used when you are doing multiple checks. For example, you want to find a criteria for a particular employee for the promotion. For example, one criteria may be like what is total experience. Second criteria is like what is total tenure in this company. Third can be some other like certification, or there can be something, right? So you check multiple conditions. If this condition is true, then you will promote. If this condition is true, will promote. If this condition is true, will promote. And finally, after checking all the conditions, there can be some else condition like not eligible for promotion or something, right? So in this one, I'm checking the first condition. If that is not true, I'm checking the second condition. If even that is not true, I'm going into the else section and I will do print, and suppose I will make it no. Okay. So in this case, it will check the value of name, which is not true, of course. It will go into the else if, and this condition is true. So we are expecting that this should be printed. Let's do that. And you can see this. Of course, yes. So this is very simple concept. I know that it's very basic, but we should be very much clear about if, else, all these things. It's very, very important to do that. And Python is completely driven by your indentation. It's very important to provide proper indentation. If you provide something out of indentation, that won't be part of your else section. For example, if I will put one more line here, I will do print Okay, and I will give anything like this one. So now it will not be printed. Why? Because my condition age is equal to 32 is true, and it will never go into else section. So this hash will not be printed. Let's check this out. You see that? Welcome to Python programming, and of course, yes, is printed. This hash is not printed. Why? Because these two print lines are part of this else, and this is identified with the help of indentation only. If I will move this print line just back like this one, what do you think now? This time this hash will be printed, because this print line has nothing to do with your if else. It is altogether independent, altogether separate. Let's check this out. You see that hash is printed now. So this is very important in Python. Although Python is very easy to read, because as we discussed yesterday, we don't provide any opening bracket or closing bracket, or you can say semicolon and all, but that can create some confusion as well. Only the indentation will decide what exactly is part of which block. Some line is part of while condition, some line is part of for loop, or in this case if else. This all depends upon the indentation. In this case, as I discussed, like this print line has nothing to do with this else. It's altogether different. And if I will press one tab, it's again part of this else. It will not print now. You see this? Not printed. Okay. If I will change the value here, let's make it 30. Then it will display no, and it will display hash also. You see that? It is displaying no as well as it's printing the hashes. Okay. This is all about if and else. Any question on this? Yes, one.
No, Neeraj, clear it is.
Okay, that's good. Let's move to the next one. The next one we have is logical operators. Okay, that's good. So logical operators are used when you want to combine multiple conditions. Right now we used equal to, but always equal to is not used. There can be not equal to, there can be less than, there can be greater than, something can be there, right? So let me delete all these things and we'll talk about some other conditions. So instead of equal to, suppose I want to find out whether my name starts with dot starts with. I want to check whether my name starts with KU. And that's true, right? Because Kumar is starting with KU. So I'm putting a condition, name dot starts with KU. If yes, print yes. Okay. Let's check it out, what it will do. What is the mistake? Oh, I understood. This bracket is only for this function. I need to close one more bracket. Yeah, now correct. See that it's displaying yes. If I will put something else, it will not print anything because there is no else. So it will not print anything. You see that? Only this line, welcome to Python programming. That's this line, right? It's printing. This condition is not true. That's why it's not printing yes. So this is one example. There can be another example, like you can put or condition and condition. Let's put one more condition here. So name dot starts with NE. That's one condition. Another condition I will put or. I will say age is greater than 30. Okay, that's good. So out of these two conditions, if any condition will match, then it will print yes. And in this case, at least this condition is matching because the value of age is greater than 30. So this time it should print yes. See that? This is or condition, right? If you will put and condition, it will not display. And means this condition and this condition, both conditions should be true. Then only it will print yes, otherwise it will not. So the first condition itself is failing because my name does not starts with any. That means this will not print yes. So let's try. You can see that it's not printing. So this is example of using AND operator, OR operator, and one more operator is there, not equal to. Let me show you that also. So if you want to put a not in front of everything, you can do that not, and then put this condition like this. That means it will evaluate first the internal part, and then it will do reverse of that. So name dot starts with any and a is greater than 30. This condition is false. This condition is true, and there is an AND operator. So ultimate the result is false. But after false, I am again changing it. I'm doing the reverse. I'm changing the false into true. That means now it will display yes. You see that? So you can think of any scenarios, like for example, you are saying that if any directory contains any subdirectory, then you won't be doing any further operation because that directory itself is disqualified, because maybe there is some condition that the directory should contain only files, then only you will process the data. If the directory contains any single subdirectory, then you will not process. So maybe what you will do is you will first find out whether any directory is there or not. If yes, then you will revert that result, and finally you will not process any data. It depends upon the requirement. So in this case, I am evaluating one condition, I am evaluating another condition, I am doing the AND of that, and finally whatever is my result, I am converting it. I mean, I am reversing it. If I will make it KU, okay, in this case, name starts with KU, yes, that's true. Age is greater than 30, even that is true. And there is a AND operator. That means true, and true means true only. But finally, I am reversing it. So overall result is false. That means yes will not be printed. If I will put else, then that will be printed. So I will put print, and I will put no. Okay, like this. Yes, let's see what it will do. You see that. Welcome to Python programming. It's displaying no. So this is all about logical operators. So in case you are having any doubt till this point, you can ask me. Otherwise, we'll be moving to the next thing. Any doubt from your side, Sahil?
No, Neeraj.
Okay, that's good. Let's move to the next one. Okay, usually we take a variable for holding some value. Like I take name is equal to Kumar. Suppose there are 100 students in a class and I need to hold their names. What should I do? Shall I declare 100 variables like name is equal to Neeraj, name 1 is equal to Neeraj, name 2 is equal to Sahil, name 3 is equal to 4, like that? That's not a good idea, right? And not only 100, there can be 10,000. So whenever you have similar type of things but multiple, you can take an array, and this concept is applicable to any programming language. It's C, C++, Node.js, Java, Python, everything. How to declare a array? So instead of name, I will do names is equal to, in the square bracket, you can provide multiple values. So I will start with my name, Neeraj. Sahil, Fortune, Srikant. Okay. So this way I have declared a few names. The benefit is the variable name is single only, names. This is holding all the values. It can have 4 or 400 or 4,000. It can hold that. Now, how to access it? Suppose I want to access Sahil. What should I do? So this is indexed value, and any programming language, they start the counting from 0. That means this value Neeraj is stored at 0th location, 0th index. The next is stored at first index, second index, third index. Let's try that. What I will do is I will print, and what I will do is names, that's my array name, square bracket, give the index, I will give 1. Okay, 1 does not mean that it will display Neeraj. No, it will display Sahil because counting starts from 0. So I will execute my program, and you can see that it's displaying Sahil. If you will try to access something beyond the range, because the range is 0, 1, 2, 3, the maximum is 3 only. If I will try 5, what will happen? It will fail. See that list index out of range. That means you are trying to access that index which is not available. Okay, so this is one example, like how to access the value. Let's talk about something else. Suppose you want to find out the length of this array. Suppose you don't know how many elements are there. There's a function len, length. Okay, and you can display the length of the array like this. What I will do is I will put some hard coded stuff so that we know what exactly it's printing. I will say array size. Okay, array size. Let's execute now. Okay, so array size is basically integer, and yesterday we talked about, right, you cannot concatenate string and integer. You need to convert this integer into string. So put str and one more bracket. Yes, this time it should print. You can see that array size is 4. There are 4 elements. You can perform few more operations. For suppose you want to sort this array, right? So how to sort it? You can do names dot sort. That's all. Your names is sorted now. So let's do one thing. We'll print the entire names before and after. Okay, so I will print here, and I will say before sorting, and then I will put names. Okay, the names is not string, it's like it's a list or it's an array, right? So it will not print, it will give an error. I will show you. You see that can only concatenate string, not list. So the same way we will convert it into string. Just put like this. Okay, so before sorting it will display my array, then I will sort it, and then I will again display it after sorting. Let's execute now. Can you see my screen? Sahil, can you guys hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. I think there was some interruption. Okay, so I'm printing the array before sorting and I'm printing the array after sorting. So what I will do is I will execute my program, and let's see the output. Okay, before sorting, whatever the original sequence, Neeraj, Sahil, Fortune, Srikanth, and after sorting, Fortune is coming first because starting with F, then Neeraj, then Sahil, then Srikanth, right? So this way you can sort. I think there is some other function as well, like reverse. Let's try that also. Reverse is there, yes. What it will do is it will reverse your array. This is original sequence, and this is after reversing. You see this. Neeraj, Sahil, Fortune, Srikanth is the original sequence, and then Srikanth, Fortune, Sahil, Neeraj, that's the reverse sequence. So it depends upon your requirement. You maybe find out ranking of something and then suddenly you want to reverse it, right? You want to sort some marks, some performance, some other statistics, right? So you should be aware that you can play around array in a different manner. And these are only two examples I have given. Like we can find the length of the array, we can do the sorting of the array, we can even reverse the array. But there are many more functions available for array which can be explored and used as and when required. Okay, so this is about single one-dimensional array. If you are having any doubt, you can ask me. Otherwise, I will talk about two-dimensional array. Okay, so two-dimensional array is like array of array. Right now, array, this array names, what was that? It was collection of names, collection of strings. But two-dimensional array is collection of small arrays. I will show you. So I will put detail is equal to, I will provide some detail like name, Neeraj. Okay, next detail is suppose is 32, and next detail is suppose your technology AWS. This is one dimensional array because my first detail is name, second detail is age, third detail is technology. But I want to maintain similar details for multiple people. That means array of array. So I will put one more opening bracket and one more closing bracket. Okay, and now the middle part, this I can have multiple. I will put comma, and to make it easy to understand, I am putting into multiple lines. Okay, to make it more readable, you can put in a single line also. Like this. To try to understand now, this is array of array because this internal part is collection of strings and the outer part is collection of arrays. So this is two-dimensional array. Let's change the value. Okay, now how to access the value? Just like for single one-dimensional array, we were using indexes, right? Here there are two indexes. One is like you can say your row-wise index. One is your column-wise index. So if I will print, let's try to print this. We'll come to one. We'll understand. So if I will print details, and then I will print 1. What it should display? I want to access 1 means second element, right? I want to access second element from this array. Second element is this one, the complete array. So it will display this Sahil 32 Java. Let's try that. See this one, Sahil 32 Java. Because I am accessing that one. If you want to further drill down and further break it, suppose I want to just know what's the technology of Sahil. That means second row and third column. Second row means first index and third column means second index. I hope you understand what I am saying because this is zero based. So I have put 1 and 2, but ultimately that means second row and third column. I'm expecting that it should display Java. Okay, let's try that. You can see that it's displaying Java. You want to try something else? Let's try that. I will reverse it. 2 and 1. Can someone tell me what should it display? Any idea? Something is wrong with my terminal. Okay, so what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to access 2 means third row, this one, and first index, that means second column, this one 35. So this should display 35. Let's check it out. See that. So in this one, second row, third column, this one third row, second column, the value is different. This way you can play around two-dimensional array, and not only two-dimensional. If you want, you can even play around three-dimensional array. So you can do that as well. But it would be, you have to visualize like one-dimensional is like a line, single line, right? And two-dimensional is like a page, right? And three-dimensional is like a box, like that. So you need to visualize accordingly, and you can play around the arrays. One more thing you can do is, suppose you want to iterate over array. So for loop you can use, and you don't need to know like how many elements are there. That's not required. It's very easy. You will do for, I will give detail in details. This one should be your some array, the right side part. This one you can use anything, a, b, c, x, y, z, anything. Let me make it like a. Even that is correct. For a in details, that means any element in this one, in this array, it will do something for it. I will do print, and I will say, I will put some hard code like this. And what I will do is I will do a, and I will do 0. Can someone tell me what will be printed? Srikant, any idea what should be printed? Hello, are you guys there? Srikant, you are on mute. Sahil, can you tell me what should be printed? Can you guys hear me? Is there anyone?
I can hear you.
Okay. Okay, so what I'm expecting is, for every single element, I am doing the first index. That means I am expecting that Neeraj, Sahil, and Kumar should be printed. So let's execute our program, and you see this one. Neeraj, Sahil, and Kumar. The first thing is printed. So you can use a for loop on top of an array. You don't need to specify like what's the range and how many times it should iterate. That's not required. It will automatically understand depending upon the number of elements in that array. In this case, since this outer array has 3 elements, so it will go 3 times. So this way you can do array. So this is all about one-dimensional and two-dimensional array. If you are having any doubt, you can ask me. Otherwise, we'll be moving for the next element in the programming. And what is that? Let me quickly check. That is string functions. Okay, let's quickly tell you about string functions. So string function, we talked one string function, right? Let me do name is equal to, I will give some space, Neeraj, and one more space, right? So many things you can do. If you will print Neeraj directly, it will print as it is, I mean with spaces. Print name, right? And it will display Neeraj with space. You notice that there is space in the beginning and there is a space after the name also. But if you want to remove that space, you can use a method strip like this. This will remove your front and back spaces. It will, this time it should print you can see that there is no leading and trailing space. So this is one example. Another example we talked about is like we said, like you can do starts with, you can check ends with, you can check the length, and all this thing you can do. One more thing is this split. If you want to split any string based upon something, let me make something else. I will give Neeraj, then colon 32 colon AWS. Okay, this is not array. Don't think that it's an array. It's a string only. It's only one value. But you want to convert this string into an array. so that you can play on individual component, individual element. So what you can do is you can say name underscore array, give some name, and you can split this dot split based upon what? Based upon colon, like this. And then this will be converting into an array. If you want, you can try printing the array. So I will print this one. And then you see this. Your string has been splitted based upon some character and converted into an array. And once your array is available, after that, whatever you want to do, you want to reverse it, you want to count something, you want to do some operation on that, you can do very easily. Yeah. So this is about like how to use string functions. There are many more, starts with, ends with, and length you can find, you can do concatenate, you can do split, you can do all these things. Okay, that's all about string functions. And moving to the last topic for today, that is dictionary. Dictionary is nothing but a collection of key value pairs. So let me delete this and I will give the name like details is equal to, you have to provide curly brackets. Okay, and in the curly brackets you will provide key value pair. I will say name colon value, that is needed. Okay, and if you want to provide more value, put comma, again another key value pair, suppose is 32. This way you can define a dictionary. This is known as dictionary. Now based upon the key you can find the value. Array was index based 0 1 2 3 4 5. This is key based. You will provide the key, it will return you the value. So if you want to get the name, what you do is you print and you do details in the square bracket. Instead of 0 1 2 3 5 you will give the key. I will give name, it will display my name. You see that Neeraj. If you want to display the age, then you should provide age here. You see that, and you can add more values as well. Suppose you want to, this is the first, I mean you are declaring the details and you added 2 values, but later you want to put more values. Suppose you are connecting to database and then you want to put more value. Suppose technology, right? And the value is AWS. So this key value pair, technology AWS, this will be added to your details dictionary. If you want to access that, you can try like this, and you see that it will display AWS. You can see now. So this way you can add, you can declare a dictionary with some key value pairs. Later on you can add more key value pairs and you can access those details as and when required. So this is all about how to use dictionary in Python. And with this slide, we are done with the basic concept of Python programming. So when we will work on PySpark, all these concepts will be used. That means you should be aware about for loop, while loop, array, one-dimensional array, two-dimensional array, dictionary, all these things. These things will be very, you can say, very useful while processing your data using PySpark. So we are done with today's class. In case you are having any doubt, you can ask me.